Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind video. I'm sure if anybody comes around to this, they're going to catch it after the fact versus people jumping into the live stream right now. But please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you like the way any of the information is being discussed, hit the like button or weigh in with your, with your opinion. I think this is a topic that I would love to hear some feedback, some thoughts, and whatnot because of what this new project might mean to a lot of individuals, a lot of music listeners, a lot of hip hop fans. So overnight, and I did a terrible job of talking about this Benny the Butcher project that came out today. Tana Talk 4 actually was live at like midnight last night. But Tana Talk 4, its arrival had been talked about for the last couple of weeks. Of course, just a couple of weeks ago, we got God Don't Make Mistakes by his teammate, Conway the Machine, Benny's teammate, with the Griselda family and whatnot. But I haven't listened to the entire project just yet. I kind of skimmed through it, looked at the titles and whatnot, and I see that I think Alchemist may have produced 7 of the 12 joints that are on there. I think it's 12. So it's Derringer pretty much. It's split between Derringer and Alchemist and the Beat Butcher cat who usually works in tandem with Derringer. So my immediate reaction, though, that I wanted to talk about was the single and video 10 More Crack Commandments, which is, you can check the video on Benny the Butcher's YouTube channel. It features Diddy, Sean Love Combs, whatever his name is nowadays. There's an appearance in the video also by DJ Premier, who produced the original song, 10 Crack Commandments by Notorious B.I.G. And I've listened to the song about 5 times, and I can't put my finger on what's, I don't know if something is missing or just something has changed, or I can't put my finger on it. And I'm not trying to be critical for the sake of being critical. And I want Derringer and Benny the Butcher, I want artists to take risks and do what they want to do and explore, experiment, and do what they want to do. So I'm not trying to keep nobody in a box. And you can't go and touch a song like that. You can't go and do a classic. You can't remake a classic. I really don't want to put my limitations and expectations on somebody else's creativity. I think the record is solid. I think though what I might be getting at, and I think I know I'm always in a minority of a minority, but I just think about projects like when Elzhi made Illmatic, when he remade Nas's Illmatic, which was a whole album. He redid the whole album. And then I think of Skyzoo, who did an ode to A Reasonable Doubt, which was entirely remaking Reasonable Doubt from Jay-Z. I think the vast public missed those projects. And I think both of those dudes should have received some significant salutes for what they did with paying homage to those classic projects, those all-time rap records. So I guess that's kind of what's influencing me on why I'm sitting here like I don't know what to do with this record other than just respect it. There's several deep dope lines on there, or bars. Maybe even the thinker in me is trying to figure out if these are all new points or if they were in the first set of 10 Commandments, but just changed up and updated. I think one brilliant thing that Benny did in the song was mentioning that B.I.G. didn't have to mess with something like social media when he was talking to the hustlers of the aughts, or the hustlers of the hustlers of the late 90s. Life After Death was what, 98? No, 97-ish, late 96. I know I was overseas at the time. So yeah. So at that particular time, you know, I thought that was a brilliant thing to include that in there. And the way that he set it up and made his point was that, you know, Big didn't even have to consider nothing like this, where there's this thing out here that's very public and very tempting to go on here and show what you're doing and how you're living and how you might be stacking money and doing what you do in the streets. But it would behoove you to stay the hell off of it, because the detectives and law enforcement can reach out to you and know a lot about you based on what you shared. And who would, you know, and it's probably difficult for some people in that game to avoid the allure of shining from time to time. I think a lot, from what I understand, I don't know nothing about the shit, but it seems like a lot of gang activity and a lot of stuff that happens in Chicago seems to happen online. That's one place that I've heard where the two worlds collide. So I thought that I thought that was pretty slick right there. And then lastly, to get on off of here, I do respect the fact that the commandment number 11 was get out the game. You know, it should have been number 1 if you ask me, or whatever Big said from the original. You should be working to get out of the game. To get out of the game. If you don't want to be in prison, or you don't want to be 6 feet deep, you know, that should be the goal. So, like I said, man, I like the record. I saw some people complaining about the beat from Derringer and Beat Butcher. You know, nah, the beat isn't as, it doesn't really compare to the magnitude of DJ Premier's track, in my opinion. But I don't hate it. And I'm not trying to clean things up and not ruffle any feathers, but I don't hate it. I just think the presentations are pretty different in terms of the vibe of the song. And then the Biggs was like a PSA, a public service announcement to the streets. And it was like he took on that type of delivery to it. And you know, Benny does his thing, and it may be updated. It just might be his Buffalo thing or whatever. I don't know. You know, it's hard for something to have the impact that the original had when it had never been done before. And so to try to do it a second time, I don't know. It's just something, I can't put a finger on it. I really can't. So I'm gonna check out the rest of the album today. I might get a long ride in tonight. So I was planning on running this back. You know, if I can get in 45, 50 miles today, I plan on running it back 2 or 3 times and really seeing what Tana Talk is all about. I did mention, or maybe I avoided it, but I didn't really think too highly, or I wasn't super over the moon about Plugs I Met 2, I think is the project. Whatever the one is with Harry Fraud. That project really kind of, it didn't land flat for me, but the execution was just, didn't meet my expectations of what Benny the Butcher sets out to do with his projects and whatnot. So that's just my opinion. I did have a couple of songs on there where I felt like they got on the same page, and the execution, you know, they scored. It was a touchdown. It was a 65-yard bomb. You know, it was 2 or 3 songs on there where I thought that happened. But so getting into Tana Talk 4, having to live up to what was achieved with Tana Talk 3, that's a hell of an undertaking right there. So I'm gonna listen to it. I did listen to the Stove God Cooks joint, and then I listened to one more. Lastly, a very interesting project that I saw that was out there that I don't even know if I want to listen to it, but the Joel Ortiz and Crooked Eye have something about basically what went wrong with Slaughterhouse. I might check that one out, but some things maybe don't need to be publicized and made public and whatnot, you know, maybe. But I saw all them brothers clapping at one another a couple days ago on social media. Again, to my earlier point about the bar, one of the commandments that Benny talks about, sometimes you hate to see. Anyway, pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.